Good day everyone and welcome to our channel. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the possible essay questions you can expect for your March common test for Business Studies Grade 12 2024. So if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like, and also click on that notification button so that you can be notified every time when we upload a new video. I will also be showing you how to write your essays correctly so that you can get 100% on your essays. So I'm going to be showing you two questions that you can expect, which is professionalism and ethics, which is under business roles. And under business environment, you can expect legislation. And with legislation, they can ask you anything that has to do with the acts, which means that you must study the acts and know them. But in this video, I'm going to be using this question to show you how to answer your essays. So here they say outline, discuss, advise, and suggest. So this is your body. All right. So you have introduction, you have body, and you have conclusion. So you have all the subheadings as your body. And after that, you're going to have to end your essay with conclusion. So you're going to write conclusion as your heading, and you're going to write your conclusion, which is 2 marks. So whatever you write as your conclusion, just 1 point is going to give you 2 marks for your conclusion. So here is how you write your essay. You have introduction, you have your 2 marks, you write your 2 points there and you get your 2 marks. And you get your first point from the subheadings that they have provided for you. And the first one is Purpose of Employment Equity Act. And you write all the points. It can be 5 points. And you move on to the impact of the act on businesses. You write your points. It can be positive and negative impacts. And you write your points there from 1 to 6. 1 to 6, or I don't know, whatever points that you have, and you get conclusion. On your conclusion, you just have to write 1 point and you get your 2 marks. So now I'm going to show you how to write or how to answer an essay based on the question that they gave us, which is on Employment Equity Act. So under introduction, you're going to have to write 2 points, because you're going to get a mark for each point you're going to write, and you have 2 marks maximum for your introduction. So since we're writing an essay based on a Employment Equity Act, so what is Employment Equity Act? So you can say that what is equity? Equity speaks of fairness, and employment already that tells us about work area or a workplace. We know that this act is about fairness in the workplace. So already you have your introduction from that. So you can say your first point, it can be the Employment Equity Act was introduced to redress the economic imbalances of the past. So looking at the past, we know that in the past, people were not treated fairly. They were not given opportunities equally based on race, based on gender. And because of that, this act comes in to redress those imbalances. The second point, you can say that this act applies to all employers, employees, and people applying for jobs. This is because this act comes to include everybody that was discriminated before this act was implemented. And for that, you get your 2 marks. So your body is going to start with the first subheading that has been provided for you in the question. So, which is the purpose of the Employment Equity Act. So here, what is the purpose of the Employment Equity Act? We said that Employment Equity Act has to do with fairness in the workplace. It is here to redress the imbalances of the past. So what is the purpose of this act? So now you must give us points that you did not mention in the introduction. So you are not going to repeat what you have already said in the introduction. You must come up with new points. So the first point, for example, it can have, for example, people will not be discriminated, or other people will not have a higher salary than others because of their race, whereas they are doing the same job. People are going to be given the same opportunities in the workplace. This is the purpose of this Employment Equity Act, because it is here to bring fairness in the workplace. So your first point can be, the act allows employees who do the same work to be paid equally, and it eliminates discrimination on grounds of gender, race, disability in the workplace, and you get 2 marks for that. And it promotes equal opportunities and fair treatment in the workplace, and you get your 2 marks for that. You can also say it protects employees from victimization if they exercise the rights given to them by the act, and you get 2 marks. So this act also promotes diversity in the workplace by ensuring that people of diverse backgrounds are appointed. And you get 2 marks for that, and you end up with your 10 marks for discussing these 5 points. So we're going to move on to the next subheading that you were also given, which is the impact of the act on businesses. So we have positive impacts and negative impacts. You can choose to write all answer on all positive impacts for 16 marks and ignore the negatives, or you can mix the negatives with the positive impact. So here we are going to write the positives and also the negatives. So we are going to write 4 points, which are going to give us 8 marks, and write another 4 points under negatives, which is also going to give us 8 marks. So the first point, it can be, it encourages consultation between employer and employees. It motivates employees, and because the workforce is more diverse, representative, and inclusive. This act ensures that the workplace is inclusive. People are not discriminated against based on anything. So it also creates a framework of acceptable employment practices, actions measured, affirmative actions measures. It also motivates employees because everyone has the same employment opportunity, and you get 2 marks for each of that. And you have your 8 marks on the positives of this act. So here we're going to look at the negatives that can come with this act on businesses. So firstly, this act increases administration burden, because now companies have to submit employment equity reports every 2 years. And also, it is expensive to train or employ someone who knows little about the act, which means that if the person has no knowledge about this act, training them or making them to comply to the act might be very difficult, and it can be very expensive to train them. Other groups may not respect the knowledge, skills, and experience of an Employment Equity Act appointment, and this may lead to conflict. It also has fines or penalties for non-compliant businesses, which may be expensive for a business. And for explaining these 4 points, you get your 8 marks, and that is a total of 16 marks from the impact of this act on businesses. Moving on to consequences and penalties for non-compliance. So what happens if you don't comply, or what happens if businesses do not comply to this act? The labor inspectors may conduct on-site visit to interview employees, which can create a bad image for the business. A compliance order may be issued to businesses that do not comply to the act. So if you do not comply, you may receive compliance orders. And if you do not follow the orders, or if you do nothing about that after receiving the orders, if you do not take a step to fix that, then you can be taken to court. So this is an offensive thing for you, like for a company not to comply. It's very offensive. And labor inspectors may investigate or inspect or ask questions about the complaints. And this can be very bad for the business. It can have a negative impact on the business. And for explaining that, you get your 8 marks and the consequences and penalties for non-compliance. In order to comply, businesses should guard against discriminatory appointments, which means that nobody should be discriminated when they are appointing people for employment. They should assess the racial composition of all employees, including senior management. And you get 2 marks for that. They should ensure that there is equal representation of all racial groups in every level of employment, which means you shouldn't go there and find that it's only people of other race and you are the only one there. Or in the workplace, there is only one race. There should be inclusivity. Other race should also be represented in that company. Clearly define the appointment process so that all parties are well informed, and you get 2 marks for that. They should ensure that diversity and inclusivity in the workplace is achieved, and you get 2 marks for that. And they should prepare an employment equity plan in consultation with employees. And with that, you get your 12 marks, right? And from discussing all the subheadings that you were given for your body, you should have 28 marks maximum. Then we move on to conclusion. And here you're just gonna have to write 1 point to conclude everything. Don't write anything that is from that you've already written in your body. Don't write something that you've already written in your introduction. Conclude your essay, right? And with that 1 point that you're going to write, you're going to get 2 marks. And with that 2 marks, you're going to be standing at 32 marks after writing your essay. So for your conclusion, you can say that businesses should take necessary steps and put practical measures in place to promote equal opportunities in the workplace. And with that, you have your 2 marks and you'll be standing at 32 marks. And I believe someone is like, where is my 8 marks? I will show you where your 8 marks is. Don't worry. Here we have a mark allocation breakdown. So we already know that you get your 32 marks from your essay. So the 8 marks comes from layout, analysis, synthesis, and originality. So for layout, did you start your essay with an introduction? If you did, you get a mark for that. Did you end your essay with a conclusion? If you did, then you get a mark for that, and that's your 2 marks from layout. Analysis. Did you include all the subheadings that you were given in the essay? Yes, you included all the subheadings, therefore you get that 2 marks. Synthesis. Is your answer relevant to the question? Does your essay answer the question, not the topic, but the question that was asked? If that's so, then you get 2 marks from synthesis. Originality. Did you use your own examples in your essay? If you did, then you get 2 marks and you have a total of 40 marks. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and also click on the notification button so that you can be notified when we upload a new video.